I just gotta say, this guy cracks me up. You crack me up. So what have we got? I made the best language learning video ever. Who are you gonna make fun of? Who is it? Who isn't? Come on, let's go.
What's up, grinders? Welcome back to the channel. And today
Grinders.
we're going to be doing a react to this video from Jeremiah. It's called You Missed the Best Language Learning Video Ever.
Ooh.
And why am I doing a react to this one? It's got nothing to do with the fact that my face is right there in the thumb.
Hold on a minute. So you're reacting to a reaction of yours, and I'm reacting to a reaction of your reaction. I'm all for it.
Now, totally nothing to do with that. Although he seems to have done quite well off of my face. Look at those views. Yeah, man. Milk it as much as you can. Okay, let's see what he's got to say.
Yeah.
So good. It's because it removes all the noise from language learning. Let's hear what he has to say.
This is how you learn a language. You grind. That's pretty much it. You sit there, you repeat hundreds of sentences a day, thousands of sentences a month, 200,000 plus sentences a year, and you do that for 1 or 2 years, and guess
Oh,
Okay,
sorry.
let's compare. How do I look with hair versus no hair, guys? Come on, this is like, I don't know, this might be... Actually, I think this video is over like a year old now. Like, this is an old video.
You know what I think? I think you're rocking the bold look really nicely, Evil Dia, but we gotta grow a beard here. That's what I think. That's what I would do. I mean, I grew a beard with all of this excess hair anyways. So that's my recommendation. If you should go for the Kratos look, my friend.
When we talk about in the grand scheme of things on YouTube since my comeback, this is like one of my first since I came back.
what? You will be really, really good at your language and get a sentence with some audio.
殖民地中很多人被残杀。
Probably not the best sentence. It's saying in the colony lots of people were slaughtered, and you repeat the sentence. 殖民地有很多人被残杀, and you do that hundreds of times a day, which will take you probably 1 to 2 hours depending on how much you repeat each sentence. I like to do 3 times. Then you do that every day, which obviously is going to clock up a
This is one method, yes, of course.
lot of repetitions, and then you do that every month, and you do it every year, and you eventually lose your sanity. That's how you learn a language. You don't need fancy courses. You're not going to learn this in a week.
Obviously, when I was
Yeah.
making this video, I was showing one way to learn a
Yeah, there
language.
you go.
What I was stressing with this video is the fact that you need to do a lot of repetition. Okay,
Yeah,
and you
sure.
need to do it every single day for thousands
I
of
agree.
different sentences. How you do that repetition is up to you, but this is my preferred method.
He's absolutely right, actually. If you do a language twice a week, you're wasting your time. I'm just going to put it out there. It has to be daily. It has to be daily.
It's my preferred method when you're kind of like a low to intermediate type of level. Obviously, you need to learn pronunciation and stuff before
Yeah.
that.
Day in 3 months, maybe in a year, depending on the language, you could possibly pull it off. A simple language that's close to your own, or a design language like Esperanto, totally possible. But apart from that, it's really that simple. So forget all these language learning videos out there. In fact, you can pretty much end this video right here.
All right, will do, buddy. All right, so
That was pretty good. Yeah, I like
Oh,
that.
God, I love it.
the reason why I chose to talk about this video today is because this video has had a profound impact on the way I learn languages.
Nice.
And this is because when I first started learning languages, I was a fan of the comprehensible input hypothesis and Stephen Kaufman, right? Steve Kaufman. And I basically thought that flashcards were completely unnecessary. You shouldn't do them.
I'm not sure if he wants Steve Kaufman or Stephen Crash in there.
No, I think he means Kaufman.
Like it was like, are they the same person? I don't know if this is what was going through his head, but sometimes in my head, that's what happens. I just see 2 old white dudes, and I think they're both the same person.
And that comprehensible input was everything. And so that's what I did. I spent all of my time reading and looking up words with comprehensible input. I then found AJAT, and I thought that I was wasting my time and that flashcards were everything. So then I started doing a massive amount of flashcards. And then I found Refold, and I thought, wait, I'm doing too much flashcards. Let me just sentence mine 10 cards a day and just focus on watching Netflix. So I did that for a long time. And then I found the MBJ method, and then I thought, oh, I'm wasting all my time watching with subtitles. Let me just focus entirely on listening. And I jumped from method to method.
Yeah, I think the mistake in this case, I can sympathize with this guy. I don't know his name. But I think the mistake here is thinking that there is one magic trick, like one magical way, that it's the only way you need. And then if you do that, then everything else is going to be nonsense. Well, the reality is that all of these methods can have, they have different levels of priority, and this may also vary from student to student in a situational case. It's a bit of everything, really. Of course, the most effective thing is to have a basic overall understanding of the language, get the basics down, then move to the country, live with people who speak that language, speak it 24/7, then you get to fluency, guaranteed. But due to the fact that a lot of people can't do that, then we go into the simulation, right? We're going to the creating language immersion and whatnot. That is the most effective way to learn it, though, just so we're clear.
to method, each time thinking that one method
Yeah.
was the golden ticket, and everything
Exactly.
else that I had learned before it was simply wrong or incorrect, right? And this is
Good
a
point.
very erroneous way of thinking that really sets people back and gives people misconceptions of what language learning actually is. Watching this video made me
he's right.
realize that none of my previous methods were wrong. They were all just different interpretations and different ways of applying this one core technique, which really is just understanding and repeating sentences. As long as you're doing some form of that, that's how you're going to make progress.
Yep, that's pretty much it. That was the point of the video. So
Very
he
good.
understood the point of the video. That's good. That was the point of most of my videos at that time. At the end of the day, these methods, some are more efficient, some are less efficient, some you might find more interesting, some you might find more boring.
Which is key.
Realistically, at the end of the day, it's just about repeating content that is at a level where you understand the majority of it, and you're just slowly introducing more and more content. And how you do that, it does not matter. You just got to do that. And depending on what skill you want to focus on, you've got your listening, your speaking, your reading, your writing. It's all the same thing. If you want to get good at speaking, you got to practice that. You got to repeat that over and over. It's the same for listening.
And don't take this for granted. Because yes, there are people that believe that, a lot of people, in fact, if you look at how traditional school learning methods have been applied, particularly, I mean, I don't know about Australia, but I'm talking about Italy, Europe in general, the UK. It's literally like they have you read something, they have you write, and then they expect you to learn how to speak. You got to speak, mate. You got to speak.
If you want to get good at listening, guess what you got to do? Oh my God, shocker,
Yes,
you got to listen.
exactly.
Okay, same with reading and writing. Okay.
Excellent.
All these methods that we've tested on this channel and people present within the community, they're all just, new ways to spin that core concept of you have to spend a lot of time with the language and basically just slowly, progressively overload what you're doing with it.
And this is one of those amazing videos where if you just watch it once and then never watch another language learning video again and completely act upon that video in its entirety, you will get fluent. It's just that powerful. And it's literally the only thing that you need. Just that 4-minute video right there will save you hundreds of hours, right? And so that kind of begs the question, why do I make language learning videos going over a bunch of really complicated topics and theories and all this type of stuff like that, if I'm such a proponent of this very simple video that really just cuts through all the noise?
Because you're probably like everyone else out there. I'll let you speak in a second, but you're probably like everyone else out there. There's got to be a magic key. I will find it. I will find that one thing that will unlock everything. No, we're curious people. We like to explore the options and see if there is a new way to, because it's the same thing over and over and over. But we want to do it in a slightly different way. It's like, imagine if you had to eat the exact same friggin' sandwich every single day for the rest of your life. You're gonna find ways to spice up that sandwich. You may end up eating it while hanging upside down or some crazy shit just to make it interesting, you know what I mean?
There's multiple reasons for this. Let's use the fitness industry as an example, right? If you want to lose weight, build muscle, and build up a generally good physique, really it's an extremely simple process, just like language learning. It's not easy, as in like there's no lazy way, there's no easy way, but it's a very simple process. All you have to do is go to the gym a couple times a week, lift with decent intensity using the right movement patterns, and then go home and eat high protein generally, and don't overconsume calories or underconsume calories. That's basically it.
Oh, sleep. You are asleep.
You do that over the course of years, you're going to have an amazing body. So why do people even make fitness content to begin with then, right? It's the same.
It's also because people, a lot of the content and a lot of the reason people will watch, content like that I make is because it's just inspiring. It's inspiring in the way that, oh, look, this person is on the grind every single day. So if he's on the grind, I feel like I'm grinding with someone. It's like, it's so much more fun to go to a gym with someone else and do the exercises with them there. A lot of people who followed my Dreaming Spanish series, they follow it, or there's some people obviously they follow it because they want to know the outcome of the experiment, and there's some people that just follow it because they kind of see it as keeping themselves in check. They're like, oh, am I behind Evil Deer? No, I'm ahead of him. It's just inspiring overall, just to know someone else is on the path with you.
Also, to connect to the analogy that he's using with the fitness example, and I think in general the gym analogy is fantastic. I used it myself a lot of times. Some of the sentences that he said, some of the phrases, right? He was saying, well, all you need to do is like go to the gym, do these movements and these patterns in the correct way. Right. But you do need then a lot of content to explain what the movement patterns are, what the typical mistakes are. So it's easy to say it in one string of sentence, but the content exists because even though the core idea is simple, then applying it does require a lot of guidance. That's why you've got teachers. So I do want to underline this. And generally speaking, you want to learn from people who have achieved, whether it be a fantastic physique, or whether naturally, or whether it be someone who is actually fluent in another language. It's not just theory, but there is practice, because this person did reach that level that you want to reach. And so even though it may be simple at its core, all you need to do is go to the gym and do certain movements right. But what movements? How many times? What are the reps? What about the sets? And do I need to rest? What muscle groups? In what order? Oh, I'm doing it wrong. Or this way how to avoid injuries. There is a lot to unpack. And that's why you have all of these series and videos. Once again, there isn't a single thing magic. You learn once and now you know the key to everything. No, the key to everything is experience. You have to be experienced in language learning, which means you need to actually do it. And then you learn from your mistakes, and then possibly learn from people who know more.
Concept, right? And so for me, there's an element of passion that goes with it.
Of
I'm not
course.
just interested in learning a language for the benefit of learning a language. I'm kind of fascinated by the process in and of itself,
Yeah.
and the different ways that you can apply different tactics and techniques and all that stuff. So the process in and of itself is something that I'm fascinated with. And that's, I think, a lot of you guys can relate to. You watch this content not entirely because of just pure practical benefit, but also because it's kind of entertaining to see like what works and what doesn't, and how you can like hyper optimize and use very specific tactics to get specific results. And so it's mostly like a passion thing for me in regards to that. Another huge reason is because a lot of people don't like taking these very broad frameworks that are guaranteed to work and then figuring out how to apply it in their own life. Because to take something as broad as listen and repeat sentence patterns, or go to the gym and lift heavy, right? To take something that broad and put it into a specific actionable plan for yourself takes a lot of trial and error to figure out.
It's also because it seems too simple. Like, if someone comes up to me and says, hey, how do I learn? Like, I've had people ask me this before. Like, they'll go, how can I learn, French or whatever? And I'll be like, okay, well, just grab a textbook. Grab, one you don't have to be a textbook, whatever. Just grab something. Work your way through it. A little bit day by day, and watch content in the language that you can kind of understand. Just do that every day. You'll get there eventually. Sure, there's ways to optimize that, improve it.
Yeah.
There's, all these things, but that's like the 80-20 rule. As long as you do that first part, the 80%, just work with the language a little bit every day, you'll get there eventually. And they're like, that easy? And I'm like,
I like how he's stressing the daily aspect of it. I 100% agree.
well, it sounds easy. Now you got to go do it. That's the hard part.
Yeah.
Doing it every goddamn day.
Figure out what works for you. And ultimately, at the end of the day, you're going to have to go through that trial and error. But by learning from other people's experiences,
Yeah,
and by
there you
seeing
go.
what other people have tried out, you're able to shorten that amount of trial and error.
Yes.
The only way to learn is from failure, but you don't have to learn from your own failure.
Very good.
If you get what I'm saying, right? And so ultimately, what I'm kind of doing is taking this idea, this overarching concept of you have to grind and you have to repeat sentence patterns, and I'm making a bunch of variations of that main idea. And then one of those variations, or maybe even a few of those variations, will really resonate with you personally. I think there's a lot of value to be had from that. So in conclusion, if you want to learn a language fast, take as many sentences as you can in a day, add it to a flashcard system, and listen and repeat until you can no longer handle it. And repeat that process over and over again until there's hundreds of sentence patterns that you can say pretty effortlessly. The only thing that I would really add to this video, which he does clarify in later videos, is that on top of this deliberate listen and repeat practice, you have to actually use the language, whether that be actually having conversations and practice speaking properly, or actually like listening extensively so you can actually learn how to like hear and digest entire conversations, entire arguments, and things like that. So pair this with plenty of input like listening immersion, and you're good to go, right? And so at the end of the day, in conclusion, if you want to learn a language and you want to learn a language fast and effectively, listen and repeat sentence patterns, listen as much as possible to the
that's
language
pretty
in
good.
general, and have conversations with people. Do that over the course of 2 years.
Wow, this is really poorly placed. Like, just slap straight in the middle of your face.
I studied Japanese for 100 days. I got this good. Be interesting to see how his Japanese is, but we'll see.
Type of thing.
And you're going to get fluent. All right, thank you.
Okay, yeah, that was a good summary of my video. He seems to have understood the points of what I was trying to get across with it, and also, what I talk about on channel. Let's see what the comment section says, because there's always someone in the comment section, and it's great to read comments about me on other people's channels because they think they're safe. They think I don't
Tell me about it.
find them. we're going to find them. I find it ridiculous that people follow one method religiously. For me, I just go with the flow and use little parts of each method. Each method has pros and cons. Be balanced to activities that you generally enjoy. That's fine. Like some people like following the exact same thing over and over because the structure of it means that they don't have to plan it. They don't have to think about it. They just sit down and they go, okay, this is what, for example, the ALG method. If you don't have to think about the method, you just sit down and watch content every day and just track your hours and that's it. Like you don't really have to think about it type of thing. I don't know who it was. It might have been Einstein or something where they asked him, you know, why does he wear the same shirt every day? And it's like, it's one less thing to think about. So that's why some people like sticking to the exact same method. I watch the guy sometimes. I like that his channel is plain and straightforward for me, listening, reading, then sentences to utilize new grammar and vocabulary have been the best method. I don't stress myself out if I don't study as much as sometimes. Yeah, I go with the thing you must do something with the language every single day, unless of course you're sick type of thing. Because what happens is if you drop it because you just want to take a day off, it becomes easier and easier to drop it a second day, third day, and then just completely forget about it, like you're sick.
I'm going to say one thing to that. I'm going to add one thing. You shouldn't really want to. If it feels like a chore, you're doing something wrong. Maybe you chose the wrong language, or maybe you chose the wrong type of exercises to make it feel like, oh, I really don't want to do it today. I don't feel that. I didn't feel it for English. I did it every day, loved it. I didn't feel like that for Japanese, for Mandarin. In fact, you have to pull me from it. Like literally, you have to give me like work so that, and then I'm like, oh, I got to do this, but I wish I could study Mandarin right now. This is how it should be. And if it's not, if you need to get a day off because you're like, oh, today I really don't want to study, there is a problem. And you need to fix that problem because language learning is supposed to be fun. And if it is boring and it feels like a chore, you're doing it wrong. And this is very important to underline. Anyways, Evil Dia, thank you very much for the video. Appreciate it. If you guys want to finish it, I'm going to give him a like right now. I did. There you go. And you'll find a link in the description, and of course there will be a link to the other guy as well, since this was a reaction to a reaction of a reaction of a reaction, and pinned comment as well. Thank you for watching.